What is the connection between magic, sleight of hand, scams, and con games? Quite a lot. As a kid, I got fascinated with magic and with con games almost at exactly the same time. I saw the movie The Sting, I saw a magician on TV who was Ricky Jay in a Doug Henning special, and I became obsessed with how to learn all sorts of sleight of hand for card tricks, but also for cheating type moves, the type of thing I would use in a game of gin, and that was probably the first move that I ever learned. And yes, there are connections between the two. There are moves that are used to cheat in order to hold a card where you need it, that a magician might use in order to control a card for a card trick. And the kind of thing that you would see in both worlds is something like the second deal. The second deal is often used to demonstrate gambling moves by magicians. And they would use it in a way that was kind of obvious. In other words, here's the top card and they deal a few. But in gambling, it would be used maybe in conjunction with marked cards. You see a marked card on top that you want, you deal the second card and keep that card on top until you need it. That's the kind of thing that would be used in both worlds, but differently in both worlds. Some cheaters are really brazen, you know, they'll deal seconds at every round, they'll deal off the bottom whenever they feel like it, they'll switch decks several times. If they think the suckers are really asleep and they're not paying attention, they'll use whatever they want. But generally speaking, moves are used more carefully when you're cheating people and there's a chance of getting caught. When you're a magician or a performer, you use the moves as a form of entertainment. My friend Jason England is probably one of the very best pair of hands in the world when it comes to gambling and cheating moves. And he always refers to the idea of seemingly impossible levels of skill being just like magic. All right, you see somebody do something that is impossible and it's a magic trick, that's a very powerful feeling. When you see someone like Jason performing a move, or if I show you a move that is incredibly difficult and you understand that it's impossible to get that level of skill and yet you just saw it, that is exactly like a magic trick. You know, if you control a card for a cheating purpose, an example would be, let's say you know the top card is this one and you want to keep that card on top, but somebody is going to cut the cards like this. You can then reset the cut as you bring everything up and keep that card on top. That is a way of controlling a card to give yourself an advantage. That means you know the card that gets dealt first to maybe your partner over here. In magic, it's slightly different. Let's say you know the card on top here and you want to show people that card, put that card very carefully into the middle and then use a very similar move, but while they're watching, to make that card come to the top. Now that's a magic effect. That's a powerful, entertaining way to perform magic with playing cards. But there are similarities between the two. The methodology can be different, but the effect is kind of the same. The main difference being in magic, you see the effect, and in gambling or cheating, you don't want anybody to know the effect. So it's a kind of long-winded answer, but yes, there are many similarities and the two do cross, but you'd be surprised how rarely one method that works exactly in the gambling or cheating world will work the same way in the magic or conjuring world. That's actually quite rare, but I guarantee people can learn from both sides of the table.